The observation is that there's a YouTube thing of me, I assume this is what you're referring to, speaking right to Barack Obama. I mean, I'm looking right into the camera. I did it intentionally, and I'm talking to him. Mr. President, this is right after he was elected. And I'm calling him to repent for his view about abortion. And I'm saying, I wish that you got right. And I said some positive things. And you can go to YouTube and look it up tonight. You can watch it. Just type in Piper, abortion, Obama, or something like that, and you'll find it. The question was, what do I think the role is of the Christian or the church in addressing politics? That's huge. So let me just make a few random comments. I do think the role of the Christian and the role of the church are not the same. The role of the church as an institution, I think, has to be more careful than the role of any of you individuals. You're going to vote, you're going to think, you're going to talk, you express your opinions at work, you're going to be, tussling and interacting. The church has to be a little more careful. It's an institution. It speaks for a lot of people. You can't just go blathering and say the church this and the church that. Well, how do you know? So keep separate in your mind the roles of institution in addressing and the roles of people in addressing. I think the Bible's pretty clear that the people should be salt and light scattered in all the institutions and all the layers of society to do as much influence and good as we can. So you just scatter in that church out there. Be involved in as many things as you can be and speak for Jesus everywhere and stand for righteousness and justice and love everywhere. Now, as a pastor in the pulpit, I don't want to play any partisan politics, even on issues I'm totally committed to. Now, what I mean is, I'm going to preach on abortion, I'm going to preach on racial justice. We have, it's so interesting providentially in our country that Sanctity of Life Sunday and Martin Luther King weekend always come back to back. We make hay out of that at our church. We make the Republicans mad and the Democrats mad by putting those back to back. Because Democrats don't give a hoot about pro-life and Republicans don't give a hoot about racial justice. And so we put them back to back. And I preach on the racial things, Martin Luther King weekend, and pro-life things the next weekend. And I say to the church, we're not Democrats. We're not Republicans. We're Christians. We have King Jesus, not Obama, not Bush. King Jesus is our champion. So I really want my pulpit to feel prophetic. I want it to get in the face of Republicans. I want to get in the face of Democrats. I don't care who's in the White House. I want to speak for Jesus. And I think that will be undermined even if I take right political partisan stands in my pulpit. In other words, if I start saying, vote this afternoon for this particular law in Minneapolis, vote for this particular candidate, because the world is going to hear me, and no matter how I qualify it, they're going to say, he's right wing. Because I'm probably going to vote that way. He's right wing, or he's left wing, doesn't matter. And therefore, my prophetic voice into the right and the left is going to be blunted. So, one of the criteria I use, and I'm speaking to pastors, which is why I emphasize this. One of the criteria I use is what strategies of involvement will preserve my freedom to be in people's face. All of them. I have really wondered, what would I do? I've never gotten a call like this. I don't expect to. What would I do if I got a phone call from a president who said, I'd just like a personal spiritual counselor. Would you be willing to meet with me every month or so quiet? Nobody knows, just you and me. I've wondered, what would I do? I don't think I would do it, but I don't know for sure. I mean, there are biblical examples of prophets who were counselors to kings. But I'm almost sure what would happen if I did that, or if Bill Hybels did it, or Rick Warren did it, or who else has done it? Billy Graham. We're going to get co-opted. We're going to get used. I'm going to get used by the Republicans or by the Democrats. It's going to come out. And then people say, Piper's schmoozing with the president. And as soon as you're schmoozing with a politician, you're not a prophet anymore. You might not be schmoozing, but the people are going to say you're schmoozing. I mean, why else would you go to Washington every week? That's pretty cool, man. Ego trip and all that. So, frankly, I'd say, Mr. Obama, this is quite an honor. And I think I have lots to say to you. But, sir, if I were to hang out with you, I think it would undermine my credibility with my prophetic office to be able to criticize you as I ought, or to criticize your critics as I ought. So, sir, as much as I'm honored by your call, I don't think I should do this. Now, that's utterly egocentric of me to think I would get a call like that. So,